So guys, Section Commander's Battle Course. I got selected to go down there, so we come back from tour, post-operational tour leave, medals parade, done a little bit, whatever, a couple of weeks back in battalion, and then I got told I was going down to Brecon for Q4 to do Section Commander's Battle Course. Now this is 4 months long. They split it into 2 parts. First half is skill at arms, which is where you learn how to teach weapon systems and run static and moving ranges, and then the second half is your tactics phase, which is where you learn how to lead men in battle and win the firefight. Now, the skill at arms phase, I really enjoyed it. Some people don't like it. It's a bit of a weird one. You actually only need this part to pick up your full corporal, which is where guys, if you only do this bit, you'll see guys in the mess and they'll have their skill at arms badge, whereas if somebody done tactics, they wouldn't wear the skill at arms badge. They're called skillies, they love it. But I really enjoyed it, and so they teach you weapon systems. You shouldn't not teach any weapon systems. You're learning how to teach the weapon systems at this stage. So yeah, and that'll be things like grenades, pistols, rifles, machine guns, one of the mortar barrels, and then you'll also do an anti-tank weapon, depending on which stage of military you're in. So yeah, and if you enjoy it or not, it goes down to which type of bloke you are. So obviously you get the guys who are absolute sponges and they can soak in all that information about the weapon systems, and then they can deliver it the next week without even revising too much. So you get given your weapon system in the week, which you're going to have to teach on the Friday, and then you get the weekend to prep it, and then you teach it on the Monday. And then you've got the guys that have to like sit in and revise all weekend, you know, and they're just head in their books knackered, no sleep, and then they turn up Monday flapping or whatever, and then you get the guys who just kind of don't give a fuck, but maybe they're all right at cuffing a lesson, and go by the motto of like no cuff too tough. They're the kind of guys that have you smiling on a Monday because you'll be sat there in your chair waiting for the lesson to get taught, and you know that he's fucking absolutely cuffing it. I ended up sharing a room with 2 lads from my battalion, Wolfie and Lloyd Pennell, and then we had another lad, Ellis, from Scots, but we was all obviously different in that room. So me and Wolfie would go out on the piss most weekends, and then we'd come back to Lloyd, and obviously because it was in like the latter end of the year, there was actually like towards Christmas, there was Christmas pies available, and I remember we used to come back from a weekend and Lloyd would just be fucking sat there with empty boxes of mince pies. He'd come back and he'd just like belt fed himself like 10 boxes of fucking 6 mince pies or something stupid like this. Mad, fat bastard he was. But he was just getting himself ready for tactics, I reckon, just ready for the cold weather. Yeah, and then you go into tactics, which is where you're in the field for 2 months. So this is deploying into Brecon. You might get like the admin day every week or every 10 days or something like this until you get towards the latter end, and then it's longer exercises. But you're in Brecon Beacons, and that is pretty much just full of hills, wood blocks, soldiers, sheep, and a couple of other things. They stay in the town centre, but there's definitely some things in there. But yeah, it's where they teach you how to lead in battle. I think it's like it's where you learn how to plan and execute deliberate attacks, deliberate operations. It's where you learn your decision-making process, your combat estimate. It's where the guys learn how to make those decisions when they're under contact and how they're going to clear those positions or whether they need to, depending on the mission. And it's also filled with fucking an awful lot of fitness tests. So you do a 2 miler, 3 miler, 5 miler, 8 miler, and then you've got your junior fan, which is over the penny fan at the end, which is about 4 hours long over the mountains, and then you've got a senior fan, which is a little bit longer, and also at the end, on the senior fan, you're running as a platoon, so you'll have platoon strength for blokes, you'll have all your guns, anything like this, and then towards the end of it, you have to pick up your stretchers with, I don't know, it's got like 3 jerry cans on, probably be like 60, 70 kilos, something like this, and then you're fucking taking that up the next hill, up the next mountain, down the next hill, all the way into the car park, and it's a fucking lick, it's terrible, but fucking great experience though, really good memory. I remember absolutely blowing out my hoop for it, but no, it's good. I will talk more about doing like these type of things, like the exercises and stuff. I haven't come onto it so much. I know there's other veterans that talk about like what it's like to be on exercise and all this kind of good stuff. But yeah, now maybe in the future, I'm in no rush to do it. But I don't know if anybody's seen it. There is a Netflix documentary out there called In Waves in War, and it's about ibogaine in special forces lads that go to Mexico to do it. I've actually just registered to do it. I just signed up to do it yesterday. I'm going to have a consultation appointment with him in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go out there. Just like I feel like it's always been, it doesn't matter what kind of stage I am, it doesn't matter how good I'm feeling or anything like this, you know, like whether it's in a good stage, bad stage, I've always just felt like there's always just like this dark cloud, just whether it's right over the top of me or maybe I'm having a good day, but it's always just like in the distance, you know, it's never just like fucking good day willy-nilly. It's always just like a battle to keep that cloud away, and I get that, I know it's like that for a lot of people, but you know, I don't know, it's that emotional regulation, you know, my nervous system feels like it's always firing on all cylinders, and it's just never gone completely. I went and got my test levels done. I felt like I heard the guys saying that they felt all that kind of thing when because their test levels were done. So I went and got my test levels done, and they're actually fucking through the roof, come back in red, like being way too high. So I know you get the same kind of symptoms as that as well, but I don't know what it is that makes it feel like that, you know. And people will say, "Oh, just forget about it, or just move on and stuff." And it's just so simple to say that kind of thing, because I don't know. I feel like things are slowly getting better, just because I've recently started following my passion in the sense of I'm helping veterans. And like since I left the military, I didn't have any kind of passion whatsoever. I didn't enjoy anything other than jiu-jitsu, but I got injured, and I can't make jiu-jitsu my life. And I know that I can, you know, continuously help veterans, and I can drive this, and I know it's something that I'll never quit. But even in following this and knowing that I've got this in the future, I still just feel like there's this fucking cloud over the top of me, and I don't know what it is, and I'm just, I don't know, tired. Deal with obviously, you manage it every single day, but just fucking tired of it, to be honest with you. So I think in going to Mexico, I'm going to go and fucking stare it in the face and see what it is. I'm not sure what it is. I will document it, I'll be honest. I'll tell you my intentions, like going into it. I'll tell you my experiences. Coming out of it as well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what will show up, you know. I do think it will be mostly military, all military, to be honest with you. I don't think I've really struggled with anything from my childhood at all. I had a really good childhood. I know my mum and dad got divorced when I was like an early teenager, and maybe that would be something like along the lines of how I take on responsibility or something like that, but I don't think there'd be anything else that shows up. Like I said, I had a good childhood, mostly just military, joining at a young age at 16 and then going to Afghan at 20. That was probably just what I felt like fucked me mostly. Yeah, buzzing. The lads fly out tomorrow. We've got a second retreat starting this week. They fly out. They fly out tomorrow. Buzzing. They land on Friday, and then yeah. If you want to catch up with the retreat content, head to the Facebook and the Instagram. That's where a lot of that is. And if you want to support, then please subscribe to this channel and then share it to any veterans or veterans families that you do know. And as always, if you are struggling, then please pick up the phone. Please get in touch with somebody and reach out. You don't have to struggle alone. Get in touch with Combat Stress, Royal British Legion, any of the associations, and they'll point you in the right direction. It doesn't matter what you're struggling with, there's always an answer and always something you can get help with. But yeah, us guys, see you next week.